Okay, so in this lesson I'm going to start working on the ear of our little creature that we've got here. Now normally with human ears, if you have a look at photographs or in the mirror, the ear goes from the bottom of the earlobe is usually about sort of level with the bottom of the nose. The top of the earlobe is usually sort of the bottom of the eyebrow, or this sort of fold here. It's usually around those sorts of dimensions. Now, just sort of looking at this this figure, and the reason I called it a creature is because it looks a little bit too sort of surreal to be an actual human being. I don't know many girls who actually look quite like that. So what I'm going to do is create a sort of an elven type creature, like a naiad or something sort of mythological like that. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I go back to my grab tool, and I'm just going to introduce some more geometry where I'm going to drag this ear out from, like that. And like I said, so sort of bottom of the nose, top of the eyebrow, that's the sort of area that we're going for. But because this is going to be not a human ear, we are going to sort of have a little bit more of a stylized design than that. So making sure that we have enough geometry to pull out the ear from, and compensating for lag. Okay. I think as well as the video recording, there's also the number of polygons that we have on screen that we have to compete with, and at the moment you can see that we're up to 154,000 polygons. So there is going to be some slowing down in the sort of RAM that this computer has. This is a fairly sort of stock standard computer. It's nothing sort of that amazing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have some slight problems occur. And it also means that if you have a computer which is perhaps a little less than amazing in quality, you should probably be able to come up with a more sort of complicated result than this. Yeah, we're definitely getting some slowdown. So hopefully I'll be able to at least record without too many glitches. I haven't actually watched any of these videos yet, so I don't know if they're being recorded properly or not. But you can see that we've got a basic shape for the ear there, and then we've just sort of softened around the edges just so that when we draw it out, it's going to be it's going to look not too bad at where it joins onto the head. So now I'll just invert that and increase the size there, and I really don't want these eyes to get affected, so I'm just going to hold H and hide that. What happened to the mouth? That was strange. It's like the mouth changed when I did that. Okay, never mind. Okay, so making sure that I've hidden those eyes, I'm just going to pull out a sort of an ear shape here, like this. And we'll come into the side and see how this looks. So, yeah, it is just sort of a basic ear shape. It is too high up on the head, but we can fix that up once we get rid of this mask. So I'm just going to make sure that we have a nice sort of elven type sort of point to the ear. And now we can get rid of our mask. And firstly I will come in here and introduce more polys, and the same for the back of this ear here. It's because I want to be able to work with it and not have it get completely faceted. And then let's smooth out this ear where it joins on, so we don't have any sort of clunkiness there. Okay, it looks like the back of the ear there has got some sharpness to the polygons. So anywhere where you see that sort of strangeness happening, just get in sooner rather than later. Just clean it up. There we go. And now I might just see if there's a way to speed things up by doing a total reduce selected. So just paying attention to the number of triangles we've got there. I'm going to switch off wireframe so I can see if it really sort of messes up our detail level. And I'm just going to hit reduce selected, and it doesn't look like it changed too much. And again, and you can see that we're now under 100,000 triangles, and it looks like most of our stuff still looks good. So that's alright. Okay. And if there are any problems, we can hopefully fix those up. So now, as I said, this ear is a little bit high on this head. So I'm going to come in here with the grab, and I'm just going to move it into a better position. Again, we're still getting some lag. That's alright. We can live with it. And now we just try and shape this ear something a little bit more attractive. So right now it looks sort of a little bit wolfish. Pull out a bit of an earlobe there. Again, don't be too worried about sort of making drastic changes, because you can sort of come back in and fix those changes up. So you can see how we're sort of getting this shape in here now. might not be the most attractive ear shape that we can come up with, but right now fighting against the lag, this is about as much as I'm willing to do. What I want is sort of nice rounded curves for this shape. And what I might do, just to see if I can improve the speed of our movements, is I'm just going to hold down Control and Shift, draw out a rectangle around this sort of ear area here. I'm not sure if that will help at all, if that will improve the speed. Seems to. Okay, and I'm just going to come in here and yeah, it was improving the speed until I started moving polygons around. And then it started chugging again. That's alright. I can soldier on. So now I'm just going to come in here and do an overall smooth. Turning this around. I'm going to bring up this section of the ear. Unfortunately the lag got to me there. There we go. And yeah. Now I'm going to come in with the draw brush, and I'm just going to sculpt in some of the sort of the creases that we get in the cartilage of an ear, just so that it's not a too smooth a sort of a transition there. Using Alt to sort of cut into the ear, sort of sculpt in some sort of pushed in lines, and just sort of, again, just bringing in detail and then sort of maybe smoothing it back out, just so that we have that suggestion of that detail in there. And you'll know if you sort of look at ears that the grooves of the cartilage tend to sort of look almost like they're sort of overlapping one another. And a larger brush size, I'm just going to try and sort of push in this area here. And then sort of bringing it down, I'm going to push in more of an ear canal there. So there we go. Now with a little bit more work, a bit more patience, we can actually come in here and we can draw in a groove in this ear here. At the moment the lag is getting to us. So So rather than go on about it, which I'm doing, I'm going to try a different technique, which is to come in and do that, smooth it out a bit, and then I'm going to mask. And we've got the mask set to a nice sort of low value so that we can have more of a sort of a smoother gradient in our mask. Just make sure that we do have a nice sort of part of that ear selectable. And I'm going to invert the mask, go back to grab, and then rather than sort of try and draw that groove in there, I'm just going to move it in with the grab tool. Just make sure you don't get it in there too high up. I'm going over with the smooth. So now I'm just going to unhide everything and see how we look. Not bad. In a way, I'm almost sort of disappointed that I went for an elven ear, because this face is probably a little bit more realistic than that. But for the purposes of this lesson, I'll just keep it as it is for now. Now I'm just going to try and get this ear in a better position. And again, the lower strength. Just soften out that edge so it doesn't completely chop into the geometry. And I might just, with the Alt, take some of that mask off the ear there and there. Okay. Now invert, increase strength, increase size, and just sort of, it's a little too severe. Just sort of bring that in a bit so that we have a nice sort of division between ear and head. There we go. And now is a good opportunity to come in here and just sort of make more overall changes to the shape, just to make it sort of feel a bit sort of nicer with the flow of the overall shape of the head. I'll do that. There we go. So now we've definitely got big ears.